Lewis Hamilton has just inked a sponsorship deal so vast, so meticulously planned, and so game-changing that it's sending shockwaves throughout the entire Formula One landscape. And nowhere are those tremors being felt more sharply than inside the walls of Ferrari. This isn't your run-of-the-mill partnership. It's not just a company logo stitched onto a racing suit or a decal on a helmet. This is a bold move from a tech giant worth nearly $9 billion. And it's made a clear statement. They didn't choose a team, a title favorite, or even a reigning champion. They chose one man, Lewis Hamilton. To those closely watching the inner workings of the sport, the significance is massive. What Perplexity AI has just done confirms what many in the paddock have quietly believed for years. Hamilton transcends the role of a racing driver. He's a cultural force, a brand with global influence, one that now stands taller than even the most historic names in the sport, including Ferrari itself. Perplexity, a cutting-edge American AI company at the forefront of generative tech, has been steadily reshaping how people search, think, and interact with information. And in their quest to find a figurehead who embodies innovation, intelligence, speed, and curiosity, they turned their eyes to Formula One. But not to Red Bull, not to Mercedes, not even to Ferrari. Instead, they went directly to Lewis Hamilton. They bypassed the decades-old model of team-first sponsorship that's defined Formula One for generations. Ryan Foudy, Perplexity's vice president of business, revealed that they had explored partnerships with teams like Red Bull, Williams, and Aston Martin. But in the end, none could offer what Hamilton alone brought to the table: a powerful global identity, an association with excellence, and a presence that extends far beyond the racetrack. They didn't want a logo on a car, they wanted a symbol. And in 2025, no one in F1 carries more symbolic weight than Lewis Hamilton, regardless of race wins or championships. But with such a seismic endorsement comes a new kind of pressure. Because while this deal is undeniably a landmark victory for Hamilton himself, it also introduces a subtle, unspoken strain within Ferrari, a team known for legacy, tradition, and control. Hamilton's star is now brighter than ever, and Ferrari for once might be struggling to keep up with its own driver's shadow. Ferrari is a team rooted in legacy, a symbol of discipline, order, and heritage. It's more than a racing outfit. It's an institution. Unlike modern teams that build their image around star power, Ferrari has always revolved around the car itself. The Scarlet Machine, the Prancing Horse, the ethos of the Scuderia. Everything else has traditionally been secondary. But now, things are changing. They've brought in a driver whose market presence exists almost entirely apart from the team's on-track performance. Lewis Hamilton's commercial appeal is becoming untethered from Ferrari's results, and that quietly but significantly shifts the internal balance. From the outside, this new partnership might seem modest. A logo on his helmet, some co-branded content on social media, maybe a few slick advertising campaigns, but behind the scenes, it marks a fundamental shift. Hamilton isn't just a Ferrari driver. He's a standalone brand that happens to be wearing red. He brings his own sponsors, his own media machinery, and now his own ecosystem of influence. And that's unprecedented at Ferrari. Charles Leclerc, until now, has been the team's cornerstone. Loyal, composed, immensely talented. The poster boy for Ferrari's endless rebuilds. He's weathered every disappointment, stood firm through the turbulence, and defended the team at every turn. But what he hasn't commanded, at least not yet, is this kind of corporate gravitational pull. Hamilton has billion-dollar tech companies designing global strategy around his image. Leclerc, for all his skill, has not been positioned as the face of cutting-edge AI ventures, aiming to reshape the world. And even if Leclerc outperforms Hamilton on race day, that doesn't necessarily tip the scales anymore. Because in today's F1, perception and market value speak just as loudly as lap times. There's no drama between the drivers. Both are professionals with mutual respect. But this new dynamic brings a subtle power shift. Hamilton is no longer just one of Ferrari's two drivers. He's a global entity using Ferrari as his platform. And when discussions come later in the season around contracts, development direction, or team influence, that kind of status carries weight. For Ferrari, the effects are layered. Financially, they gain nothing directly from the Perplexity deal. It's Hamilton's personal agreement, struck independently of the team's commercial framework. But indirectly, the benefits are enormous. Every time Hamilton steps into the SF25, every photo, every press conference, every viral moment, Ferrari's brand is front and center. They may not be getting the check, but they're certainly getting the exposure. In a year where results have been underwhelming, with Hamilton yet to reach the podium and the SF25 proving unpredictable and finicky, this kind of off-track momentum is a rare bright spot. And for sponsors, a high-visibility ambassador matters, sometimes more than a bronze trophy. But it begs a deeper question. What happens when the driver becomes bigger than the team? Ferrari has always resisted that idea. Even during the eras of Schumacher, Alonso, and Vettel, the car came first. The Scuderia always overshadowed the man behind the wheel. But with Hamilton, that balance is being tested. In a world dominated by social media, personal branding, and crossover appeal, can Ferrari accept sharing the spotlight? Can they adapt to a driver who brings a wave of external influence? Or will the old instincts kick in? The ones rooted in control, in hierarchy, in message discipline. This debate comes at a fragile time. Ferrari is under pressure on multiple fronts: development speed, leadership stability, and internal harmony. And now, layered atop all of that, is a new identity question. Can the world's most historic team coexist with the sport's most powerful individual brand? McLaren hasn't been shy about pointing out their car's flaws. Hamilton, too, has voiced his concerns, calling out strategic missteps and criticizing the balance of the SF25. And now, as Ferrari brings new upgrades to Imola under increasing pressure, team principal Fred Vasseur finds himself in a precarious position. The last thing Ferrari needs in this delicate moment is any hint of internal friction, whether it's real or just perception. But this new sponsorship deal, as high-profile and lucrative as it is, introduces yet another layer of complexity. Hamilton isn't just a 7-time world champion, learning the quirks of a temperamental machine. He's also become the centerpiece of a global marketing strategy led by a multi-billion-dollar AI company. He is the product now, not just the athlete, and that's both an opportunity and a risk for Ferrari. If the upgrades deliver, and if the car finally starts living up to its promise, the synergy between Hamilton's star power and Ferrari's legacy could be unstoppable, a commercial and sporting juggernaut. But if the performance continues to falter and Leclerc keeps quietly getting the job done with better lap times, then things get more complicated. The optics could turn fast, a global icon commanding headlines off the track, while struggling to keep pace on it, all while his teammate outperforms him with less fanfare. That contrast can become a storyline of its own, and not necessarily one Ferrari wants. So make no mistake, this deal shifts the internal dynamics. It raises the stakes for everyone involved: Hamilton, Leclerc, and Ferrari itself. Every race result now carries a dual weight: sporting performance and brand value. Because in today's Formula One, raw speed is only part of the equation. The other part is visibility, influence, and cultural reach. And right now, no one plays that game better than Lewis Hamilton. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Is this a masterstroke for Ferrari and Hamilton, one that lifts the entire team into a new era of relevance? Or is it a risky move that threatens the fragile balance inside Maranello? Could Leclerc be quietly growing frustrated? Or is this simply how modern Formula One operates in the age of billion-dollar branding? Comments below. And once you're done, don't forget to click on the video that's popping up on your screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe my channel.